Hello, in this video I'm going to teach you how to play with Liu Kang. He is a very good character. By many players he is considered top 10 or even top 5 at the tier list. And he is very good at the close range, and he is also good at the very far range because he has good projectiles and he is very fast when he is close. But at the mid-range he is not as good as when he is close or too far, because he has not any moves that are very long reaching. Most of his moves are short range or a little bit better, but they are all fast and short rather than long and being good at the mid-range. So in this video I'm going to cover most of his useful moves, but all of his moves are useful. They have some use case, but they'll not be as useful as the others. So I'm going to show this 3 combo. First one is 1, 2, 3. It's a really good move. It's fast. It starts with the 7-frame move, and it can convert into other special moves. It's very good for punishing moves because it's only 7 frame at the startup and you can easily punish them. The second one is back 1, 2, 3, this move. It's really good move, but it's dialing combo, which means you have to press 3 buttons immediately, and right after 1 you have to press 2, 3, 2, 4, back 1, 2, 4. It's the move. And the last one which I'm going to cover is forward 3, 3, 3, 3. Forward triple threes. As you can see, you can launch the opponent and continue combo after it. It's really good move, but it has a downside. It's a mid, it's not very fast, but the worst downside of it, it's punishable, which means if Liu Kang does that and the opponent block that, the opponent can't punish the move. You can see at the right of the screen it says punish. So how do we know if a move is punishable? In order to find that, you have to go to the move. As you can see here, at the right of the screen, at the down right, you will see frame data, and there are 7 factors. The most important ones for a beginner at least are the block advantage, which is the middle one at the right side, that is blue, and the startup. But for now, what does that mean? If you see the block advantage it says -12, which means if my opponent blocks and I do this move, it takes 12 frames that I can't do anything after. You can see I have to wait a little bit to jump or wait a little bit to block. At that moment, the opponent can punish me. In order to punish that move, the opponent must do a move that is 12 frame, that is 11 frames or less. For example, if I do this move, Shao Kahn's 1 is 9 frame. Shao Kahn's 1, which means I can punish this every time. And since I punish him, I can do my combo after it and do a lot of damage. Like this, 28% because of that. But you can also make these moves safe by convert them into a special move, like this one. It's not very safe, but it's safer than the original forward 333. So this move right here starts at 7 frame, which means it's very fast. And this move is 9 frame. It's slower, but it has an advantage. And it has an advantage. The advantage is that if Shao Kahn doesn't block and he is ducking, if I do a high move, it completely misses. But if I do this, it hits Shao Kahn every single time because he is ducked and don't block. So let's get into the other moves very quickly. Liu Kang also has this move, which the first 3 buttons are dialing, which means that you can't do 2-1. It's 2-1-2-1, and it does 40%. It's very good if you want to if you want to continue your pressure. You can do this and go for the other stuff because it's very plus on hits. Then we have this move, which is a mid. It starts at 14 frames, and end with the low. Then we have this move, which starts with the low and continues with the mid, and you can convert it into other moves. It's very good because you can do a lot of short hops and scare opponent to a stand block and then do this one. It also can do combos in certain variations when you have the fireball. And there is also this combo which is very good. The last hit, it lands, it's plus, but it has a gap in between, which means that if I want to show you, I can show you like this. I can block that, and at the middle it has a gap, which you can do stuff like this or this to scare the opponent. So into the Krushing Blows. Liu Kang has 2 in his default moves. One is that is the uppercut crushing blow. Which you can continue and do a lot of combos after it. It's really hard to do another uppercut after that. And there is another crushing blow, which is this move. You can do that after it, but if you are in a if you are in corner, you can do fancy combos after it. Like this. So, little quick check. No, it's just for it. Now let's get into special moves. Liu Kang has several default special moves that are very useful. First of all, he has his fireball, which is fast, and at the long range it becomes very good on block, especially the amplified one, which you can do back, forward, one, and then amplified two. RB on Xbox and R1 on the PlayStation. You can also do his move at the air, which is really good. And he has some special moves like this flying kick and the bicycle kick. Bicycle kick has a crushing blow. If you do it 3 times, then it will activate, and the 4th one you can hold the button, or if your controller setup are different, it will launch automatically. If I going to does 28%, and the best part of this version below is that you can do it at the end of your combo and get really good damage. So there is this next move, which is flying kick. Unlike bicycle kick, it's full range, but I don't recommend to do it on full range unless you can punish opponent from a very far range, which is its crushing blow activates. And there are also another way to activate flying kick crushing blow, which is that you must after a fireball at the full range, which is very hard. Like this. I usually spend 3 amplify bars for the bicycle kick, because the bicycle kick does 10%. If you amplify it once, it does 14, and if you amplify it twice, it does 16. But with the flying kick, you get 8% with normal one, but if amplified, you get almost 6% for 1 bar, which is very efficient in comparison with bicycle kick amplified version. But bicycle kick amplified version getting it closer to the crushing blow, which I recommend do 3 amplified bicycle kicks, and then after that do flying kicks, because the flying kicks are faster and easier to do. I'm going to show you I was trying to show you an example which shows that flying kick is easier sometimes because opponent maybe gets too low and you can't do the bicycle kick, because for that the opponent must be high, a little bit higher on A. First we're going to discuss his fatal blow, then we are going to discuss his special or his unique abilities or variation abilities. His fatal blow has very good range. It can be do for extending combos, it can also misses, but it can do a lot of damage, and it can do also, you can do it also for punishes the opponent. For example, if I do an unsafe mode, which is like this one, you may not punish it with the default move because the opponent is a little bit far away, but you can do the fatal blow, and it's really good one. The only downside of it is that it makes the opponent very far, which is not good when you are low on health and you don't wanna get stunned. So when the first came out, it doesn't have the option to change the variations and do custom ones. You have to stick with the ones that are already built. The first move I'm going to cover is the low fireball in the first variation. Low fireball is very good because it's fast move, it's low, means that opponent can duck, opponent should duck it, and it can also use for extending combos. You should do it when you are far or when you want to do a combo. Combos with that move are very hard. Just continuing things that are normally will not continue, like this string. Back 1 2 4. It can surprise the opponent. The next move is Shaolin stance. It has three moves after it. As a stance, you can press 1 to cancel it. You can press 2 to do an overhead move, which is not very useful because it's very punishable. And I can do 3, which is a low that is not very punishable. It's really good to make this move safe. It's a little bit hard, so I have to. So you get the idea. You can do it after it, but it's really hard, and this move is not my preferred move for the Liu Kang. So you do it like this. After many tries, I can finally do it. The last move is Dragon Parry. It's a really useful move. You can do it after this gap in order if the opponent wants to. The opponent thinks of a gap and you do this, and you can launch it after it for the combo. But the down 3 move, or a low move that is fast, he still can beat you. Parries are vulnerable to lows and jump in attacks. It has a Krushing Blows also if the opponent do a wake up attack, which is very rare, but it's not impossible. You can get it if you stick with this move for many time. The second variation has some moves. First it's the energy parry. Maybe I should. It can. It can parry the projectile at instant, and you will deal not any damage. The second move is Dragon Fire. It's a buff that makes a lot of moves more damage, and it also affects the energy parry. If you activate Dragon Fire and do an energy parry, you can do stuff like this. After defecting, it reflects opponent's projectile into a fireball, and you can do combos after it, just like I did, but it's hard to time. Timing correct. There is also another moves which are Liu Kang's teleports. They can be done in 4 directions. The front, the back, the low, and the overhead. And you can also do a low at the both sides. You should just combine the moves. With down it's a low, with up it's a high, with back it's front. And backhand one, it means it's a low that is front, like this. It's really good variation, but it's not very popular because this move isn't that great, and the teleports are, all of them are somewhat risky. The high teleport is high, and the overhead and the low teleport is very punchable. They are very punchable. The last default variation has 3 moves. The first move is down, back, forward, 2, which is a command grab. It's a 2 move, but it's high. Characters like Shao Kahn, Collector, and Robocop have command grab that are mid. What's the difference? The opponent can dodge them, but the opponent can dodge this move. It's really good because it also breaks the armor, meaning that if Shao Kahn do a breakaway, I can break his armor. So I'm going to show you breakaway mode fast. Now you can see breaks the armor and do a good amount of damage. And it can also be used by finishing combos and also used for switching sides. Overall, it's a really good move. And another thing that has to be said about this move is that you can do it after some of the Liu Kang moves, like down one or back one, which is really hard. So I'm going to show you this stream and this move are really working well together because it's a 9 frame mid at it's a 10 frame through, so opponent really should guess whether you are going to do this move or a through, because through are always unblockable. The opponent can only escape it with ducking and don't push the block button or jumping. And the first move, the second move is the non-Chico stance. If I it has an overhead, it has a low, and it can be cancelled, and if you equip the command grab, you can do the command grab after the stance. It has also a Krushing Blows, which you should do a low one and immediately and overhead. You can do combos after it and it's good move, but I don't recommend it because it has some gaps and hard to play with. For example, if I taking the control of Shao Kahn and you can see that does a combo, but if I do down one, I can punish him every time. And the last move is a teleport that closes the distance between you and the opponent. It can also be used for dodging the projectiles. But it's not. But it's almost impossible. Now I'm curious, is it possible to dodge a move with this move? Yes, but it's really hard. And I never recommend this move for that. It's useful when you are very far from the opponent and you want to close the distance very quickly. I can see that use case. So there are two common Liu Kang beats. One of them is that it has the Dragon Fire and Dragon's Gift, which are teleports and buff and low fireball. And another build that I see many people use is that instead of Dragon Gifts, that means instead of teleports, Liu Kang can get his through. And how to play with them. When you are far away, you have the projectiles. When you are close, you have the normal tools and very fast meets. You have overheads with the short hops and the loops. Overheads are risky and I don't recommend. And you can you have some moves like this, which if lands that are plus, you can continue pushing after them. And if you have the command grab, you can do a lot of command grabs and his meat. You can also do his meat to command grab, but it's really hard. Overall, that's it for this video. I'm hoping you found this video helpful, and if you found it helpful, consider to like and subscribe for more videos like this if you want to see more. Have a nice day.